Hey guys, my name is Erik. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my journey with home recording and what you're going to need to get started. This video is specifically tailored for those people who are trying to record guitar, bass, or vocals at home. So everybody has their own budget when they want to start doing home recording. You're going to need a DAW, you're going to need an audio interface, you're going to need microphones, you're going to need cables, stands, headphones, and monitors. How did I start home recording and what did I use? Well, I started in around 2006-07 and I had a Focusrite interface that I was using with Logic Pro, and the next step from that was I got an Avid 11 rack which came with Pro Tools, and I had been using Logic for a little bit, but I realized that Pro Tools made more sense to me, and I dedicated all of my time from that point forward to learn Pro Tools inside and out. So a lot of people ask what interface you should buy. Well, there's so many on the market. I've tried a lot of them. I've tried Focusrite, I've had an 11 rack, I've had an Apogee 1, an Apogee Duet, I had a UA Apollo at one point when I was doing a lot of mobile recording, I've had a DigiDesign interface, I've had Antelope Audio, but right now I'm using an Apogee Symphony, which is, I've now been building my studio for over 7 years. So for somebody that's starting out, I would get something that's, you only need really 1 or 2 inputs, especially if you're just doing vocals or guitar at home. Preferably 2 inputs is better, so I would recommend something like an Apogee Duet. Their products are made great, they sound amazing, and they're really, really high quality. So a lot of people ask what interface they should buy. Well, you're gonna need an interface. That's gonna take all the microphone inputs, and it's also gonna run the output to your monitors or your headphones. And there's a lot of different ones on the market. You have to find out what your budget is. I've used Focusrite, I've used an 11 rack, I've used Antelope Audio, I've used Universal Audio, and I've owned the Apogee 1 and the Apogee Duet, and I've been using the Apogee Symphony now since 2017, and I love it. So you really just got to find what works with your budget, but I've tried a lot on the market. Leave a comment below, let me know what you're using. Which DAW should I use? Well, it's the same thing. You got to try them all out and see what fits for your workflow. I know a lot of people that do MIDI programming. They prefer Ableton and Logic over Pro Tools. I have a lot of friends that do just audio recording. They use Pro Tools. For me, Pro Tools has always been the easiest to use. It's made the most sense, but I primarily record guitar and vocals. So for me, it's laid out perfectly, but I also do program MIDI in Pro Tools, and I know a lot of people that do that as well. So all the programs at this point are kind of limitless. So you just need to try them out and see which makes the most sense for your workflow. So if you're recording guitar, there's 3 mics that are most commonly used on guitar. That's an SM57, a Royer 121 or 122V, or a Sennheiser 421. The SM57 is a really, really affordable mic. It's only, I think, $99. An alternative to that would be a Telefunken M80, which I think is about $129 or $149, and sounds just like it. But those are the 3 most commonly used mics. Now, you could get away with just using an SM57. I know a lot of pro players that do that, so that would be one of the mics you should get for your home studio setup. So if you're like me, in my home recording, I primarily record guitars and vocals. So that means I need to have a great mic for acoustic guitar. But I would recommend finding a mic that could double as your vocal mic as well. And this is where I would spare no expense. You want to find a mic that's going to retain its value on the used market. That's going to show you the demand of the mic. Don't just read online what people are doing, and you don't even have to follow my advice as well either. I would recommend something like a Mojave MA200. That's an amazing large diaphragm condenser mic. It might be a little bit out of your budget for home recording, but it's a mic you're going to hold on to for a really, really long time. It's going to sound amazing on acoustic guitar, and it's going to sound amazing on vocals as well. Okay, so if your budget for home recording is somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000, and the difference between getting a good mic and a great mic as part of that package is $200, $300, $400, I would spend the extra money. You will not regret it. Make sure you get a mic that's going to last you a long time and is going to inspire you. I can't tell you how many times I've seen friends get into home recording and they just start selling off the gear immediately 3-4 months because they wanted to save a couple extra dollars. Don't make that mistake. Make sure you get something that will last you. A lot of people ask, do I need an external mic pre? Yes and no. I'd say if you're starting off right away, probably not. But it's definitely something that you want to get at some point down the road. My first real mic pre was a UA 6176, and it was great. It also had the compressor on the other side, the 1176, and then I got a BAE 1073 DMP, which I absolutely fell in love with, and I still have to this day. I immediately sold the UA after getting that, and I'm a big fan of BAE stuff. But you can get a great mic pre for somewhere around $1,000. There's so many great ones out there, and it's something that down the road will make a huge difference in your setup and the way your recordings sound. So don't overlook that, but it's definitely not something you need right away. You can get a great interface, like the Apogee Duet has two mic pre's in it. But the cool thing about something like the Duet is that you can use an external mic pre when you get that far. So which monitors should you buy? Monitors are absolutely essential for your home studio. You're also going to need headphones too if you're recording acoustic guitar, because you're going to want to mute the monitors when you're recording the acoustics. Same with vocals. I've used over the years, I've had KRKs, Focals, Dynaudios. I'm currently using Amphion 118s and Yamaha NS10s, but I've been building this studio up for 7 or 8 years, so these monitors are a little bit out of range for somebody that's just starting to get into home recording. But there are a lot of affordable alternatives that you can look at. There's the newer HS line from Yamaha that I know a lot of people like, but go to the store and try them. I can't tell you how many monitors I'd listened to before I decided to go to the Focals, which was my first professional monitor from the KRKs. So go to your local dealer, Guitar Center, Vintage King, or whatnot, and listen to monitors. You have to just see what sounds good to you. And your workflow will change as you get better monitors, but it's absolutely imperative that you get to know your speakers really, really well in your room. And if you can have a little bit in your budget for room treatment, make sure you get some room treatment as well. So at the end of the day, the whole thing is to keep you inspired, to keep you creating music, to give you information that will help you on your journey, but it's ultimately your journey. You need to find what gear works for you and what you like, and define your own sonic template and sonic palette. And remember, this is just my opinion and my experience and my journey. Nothing about what I say is absolute and you have to follow and this and that. It's just my own personal experience. But the final thing I encourage you to do is to continue to learn. It's one thing that throughout this entire journey, I've never stopped asking questions. I've never thought I was too good to ask a question. I've always wanted to learn about what other people are doing. Maybe they have a miking technique that I could learn from and will sound great, and sometimes it doesn't, but I've always asked questions, and I've always wanted to learn, and I've always wanted to be 1% better tomorrow than I was today. So thank you very much for watching the video. I hope that it was informative and educational on some level for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments box below, and I'll respond to you there. I'm going to be doing tons of videos on home recording very soon. Over the last 7 or 8 years, I've been doing hundreds of guitar tracks. I've been doing tons of full productions at home, and I'm going to share with you the tips and techniques that I've used to do that. So stay tuned on the channel for more videos, and thanks for watching.